place like this place anywhere near this place, so this must be the place.
How you doing, sir?
Hi, Tina. It's my, whatever he is.
Jason.
Pleasure. How you doing?
No.
Hope to talk to you about some hats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know anything about them?
Just a little bit. Only about 4 generations of it.
What makes you come here?
Well, I did a little bit of research and found out they make some of the best, and that's why I came here.
Where are you from?
Come up from Fulshire outside of Houston.
All the way here?
Yeah, actually stopping on our way back
It
home.
must be good.
Yeah.
Now you do all this by hand?
Yes, sir. Hand blocked, hand sewn, and hand shaped.
Is that unique in the hat business?
Yes, sir. Most certainly is.
What kind of hat do you think would look good on these two, Joe?
It's not about the giving it a style or a name to it. It's about just making the hat to the customer. If you gave it a name, you'd have to name it after the person, because each hat is so individually unique. No hat is going to be alike to each customer. You might get a similar, someone might request a similar style, but ultimately the hat is going to look completely different because it's being hand shaped and cut and molded to that customer. Even the width of your shoulders, how far apart your eyes are, your nose, your jawline. Their facial features come into play when you're talking about a custom hat. Once you steam it, the hat gets malleable enough to be able to adjust the shape of it.
How long does that last?
Oh,
I guess you just go back and
a
re-steam it, right?
hat lasts multiple lifetimes. It's completely not uncommon for customers that have had their great-great-grandfather's hat from my great-grandfather come in and have us restore their hat. Or rebuild it to fit them so that the hat carries on from generation to generation.
So like around it looks like a lot of people come here from a lot of places in the country, probably the world.
Well, I'm gonna have to have one.
Which one are you thinking?
I don't know.
How about a 55-gallon drum to cover you up?
That'll work. I'm just wondering if you buy a hat, is this what you have to do next? Because I've been in public education for a long time, and I know what these are for. So you buy a hat, you get a SWAT. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, swing
If
it.
you're a UT Spur or a cowboy, you can see the long list of victims on there.
Yeah, and I see Jim Kellum's name on here. So you're up next. You got to buy a hat. I'll be swinging a board.
I've been hit a few times in high school.
In the head.
For
probably.
no reason, I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I'm sure you've never done anything wrong since I've known you. I don't have a man crush on you or anything, but that hat does look good on him.
Appreciate it.
It really does.
Yeah, that's a nice looking hat.
It looks just like him.
Yeah, it does.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you happy with it? Yeah. This would be the gentleman that we were referring to. This is my grandfather. I was about 5 years old when this photo was taken, and the funniest part about it for me was that was how I went to school every day. It was with my hat and my cowboy boots, my belt buckle, my Wrangler jeans, and I'd always get picked on about it in school. And I'd get on the bus and, you know, the kids would be snickering about me being the little cowboy and wearing my hat and stuff. And so every day after school, I would get dropped off in front of the hat shop. Well, on that particular day, we had a whole film crew and photographer and lights and whatnot set out in front of the hat shop, and everybody just got real quiet, and I stepped out, and it was the best feeling in the world.
Sure.
To step off of that situation, and literally that was just moments after I stepped off of the school bus. Here, this is actually the highest honor that a hatter can receive, and my grandfather was actually the only American to ever receive that award ever. It's an Italian award.
An
It's
Italian
the highest
award.
honor that a hatter can receive.
Golly. Has anybody since been American
No.
since? So the only
Never.
one ever.
Never. We're also the only official hatters of the state of Texas.
Ooh, man, what a history lesson it is in here.
I've had hats handed down 2-3 generations.
Really?
And it's been written in wills, so-and-so was supposed to get my hat, their hat. And I've had families fight over, not the money.
Right,
the
just
brand,
the hat.
The hat. They say, I want grandpa's hat. No, I want uncle's hat. And so and
Yeah.
one time I had to make 2 hats the same so the family could each have 1 hat.
Oh, I haven't really been involved with hats, so now all of a sudden, as I get involved and I start checking up on it, you realize there's a whole different culture out there.
Yeah,
And
there's a reason why everybody has a hat.
absolutely. Ronnie Van Zant and I grew up together, and then after junior high, he went his way and I went my way. I went out and sold pizzas, and he did whatever he did. But the hat he has is a certain hat.
It's a high roller.
Where does that come from? Where does that name come from?
Manny's father, he did the roll and rolled the brim by pencil. He
Okay.
actually literally had taken pencil and rolled it, the story goes. And the reason why we say home of the high roller is because of we went to court against Stetson Resistol, and one showing that we had been making this hat and we had the rights to call it the high roller, and they had to stop. They can do the same style of hat.
They just can't call it that.
They can't call it the high roller.
Well, I know it's a unique hat, and a lot of the rock and rollers, started wearing that style hat or something.
Because of him and everything. And
Yeah.
I remember hearing my father-in-law comment, they all walked in and they all had no shoes on.
No shoes.
They were all barefoot.
When he and I grew up together, we lived near the woods. We probably ran around without shoes half our life, you know? Now, how long you been buying hats here?
Oh, this is about 1996?
100? No, 96?
Wasn't 1901, it was 1996.
How many hats do you have?
I have 5 felts, actually Texas Hatters hats. I have 4 half-breeds.
Okay, I need an education. What's a half-breed?
Okay.
It's like what we're wearing here.
Yes,
I'm wearing
David
here.
has,
It's
yes.
My father-in-law, Joel's grandfather, came up with the idea, and he destroyed 2 hats by accident, and his father
Is it different materials on each?
straw and felt. You got the felt that blocks the sun, and then you have the straw that is just so vented. And you got different varieties of straws that you could use. And you can see how the look comes out, and you can see how the hair just breathes.
Now, is it like women's purses in a way that like in the winter, do you wear certain hats versus the summer and stuff like
there's
that? Or
some
when you dress
etiquette-
up or something
yeah,
like that?
Some etiquette people resort to that, and there's some that don't, because you got to think our ancestors wore felt hats year round.
Probably the whole
So it's
time,
Really
yeah,
right,
yeah.
it's really wrong.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
How
You know,
big is his head? Is it pretty big?
literally, the shape of his head is like that, front to back.
Yeah.
That's
That's about what's in my head too. Nothing.
Yeah.
You just ask my wife.
Well, the width and the style of the hat is all purposely done for what you plan to use it for. A lot of people working in the sun.
Right.
Some people want to wear a hat just for casual wear.
When I put the hat on, I look at myself with the hat on. It's not very long, I'm not conceited. So I just look at it and I say, this is me. This is the hat that I want to wear out and really enjoy.
It really becomes an extension of you.
Yeah, it is an extension of yourself. And it's just, have a nice unique hat on. It just feels like my wardrobe's complete.
This is actually the material that we start out with now, and you can see how it doesn't really give right now. It's still pretty
Is this a rabbit?
fairly stiff. Yes, sir. This is a New Zealand hare's fur.
That's what I thought.
When you hear someone talk about a felt hat,
Right.
felt, the word felt is actually the process of the hairs interlocking together. So there's a centrifugal chamber that they throw the hair into, similar to a giant cotton candy machine. But you can see here, it's actually just individual hair fibers,
Yeah.
and all of them are just interlocked together. So what happens as I steam the hat is those hair fibers loosen and expand as I pull down on the felt. So it allows it to expand and contract. Now we're just gonna give it a quick little haircut. In hatter terms, what we call this is pouncing, and so I'm actually gonna sand down the outer layer of that nap that the hair has right now on the felt.
It's called pouncing.
Yes,
So if it was a beaver hat, you'd be pouncing on the beaver.
exactly.
You know, why do we even put up with you?
It's a fun hobby
Joel,
from
I
time
apologize.
to time.
That was a serious question.
No, it was not. You never say anything serious. I apologize. Well, it looks like you're taking everything off.
Now, Kellum, there's not a hat
What?
made that'll save you.
I've never been able to wear a hat.
That's unfortunate, too. You need one that covers your whole skull. They say they can take that out and put it back in after you got it on your head.
You're an idiot.
So that would be your hat
You're
right
an
there.
idiot. You're
that,
an idiot.
That would be perfect for you.
You're an idiot. That's all I can say. Have you ever worn a cowboy hat?
Yes.
Have you?
I look real good in them.
I doubt it.
Here's you another one.
I've never seen you in a hat.
Well, here is probably yours right here. Yeah. Look,
This is it. baby.
okay, here we go. Because that's the way it looks like when you get through bass fishing.
Joel, thank you very much.
No, anytime.
Great
All right,
job.
pleasure to meet
Anytime.
you. Good job.
Keep him out of trouble.
I'll try.
Not an easy task, is it?
No, it isn't.
If I see him out, I'll make notes for you.
Check death notices because I may kill him.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you guys later.
See y'all next time.